Good day to you, our numerous viewers. We want to thank you for hooking up with us again on your lovely program, Banking Helpdesk. You are welcome. Hope you are following us episode by episode. Today is another good day in which we hope to continue where we stopped. What we have on ground are reactivations of accounts of different categories, particularly where you have more than one person signing, that is one person with signing power. And in most cases, reactivation involving principal signatories. That's where you have issues of dormant accounts where principal signatory is actually affected, and you can't really go ahead to transact, especially to withdraw. Mind you, if an account is in dormancy, it doesn't mean you can't pay into the account. You can actually pay into the account, but might not be able to withdraw. So, and that is not good enough. And it means you don't watch your account nose diving into dormancy. So we told you the other time on so many things to do. Come into the banking hall, you are safe. One of the days where you are afraid. But mention reactivation, the bankers will be afraid, customers too will be afraid. But where you have customers with ulterior motive, they know where they are going. And we told you that when every signing individuals are present, usually you don't have problems. It is when they are not present you have problems. And we told you that the requirement for reactivation will be KYC documents, letter of application for reactivation, or the bank's form designed for that purpose. And we told you where one of the signatories are signing irregularly, what could be done, so as to allay the fear of the bankers and the customers. We told you how CCTV, BVN, and the customer service officer's camera or cashier's camera can come together to negate the plan of a customer with ulterior motive, or a banker with ulterior motive to say, no, we didn't know anything about it. By the time that day is called up from the system, everything done will be revealed, and the culprits will be brought to book. And now, banking system had really become so sophisticated that customers are protected and bankers too are protected. Now today we want to continue with reactivation based on the death of a principal signatory. Reactivation based on the death of a principal signatory. But see, our numerous viewers, we want to appeal to you to pay attention to reactivation. If care is not taken, inability to reactivate your account can just keep your money in the bank for years, whereas you don't have problems. If you are going to the bank and you don't really know as much as the bankers do, but you are equipped with enough facts to make sure that your claims are justified, I bet it with you at a point the bankers will oblige you. Instead of telling you come tomorrow, go next tomorrow, and come back next week, no. By the time they know you are saying what you know, I bet it with you, your request will be granted. Now today, who is a principal signatory? A principal signatory is a signatory or a person who must sign all your transactions. He must sign all your transactions. Please, before I forget, I just want to give you I want to give you a kind of tip. You can do your account in another way. Your key person might not be signing. It's an additional security on your account. You can have a principal signatory, and you still have another signatory who must confirm all your transfers and withdraw. Anything that's affecting your account, you must confirm. That is, you so much, how do I put it? You so much break down affairs of your account that nobody will just go there and sweep. You can have another signatory who will not be signing, but must confirm according to your mandate. Even if a principal signatory signs, an additional security must be built in. Another person must confirm. See, all these blockades stop fraud on an account. If the signatory is signing and signature is simple, the man who is going to confirm will tell you, I'm not aware of the withdrawal. What happens? And if a banker pays such a money, he's liable, and we have to pay back, or have the bank pay on his behalf. And when the bank pays back on behalf of an employee, it means the employee is good to go. So let us take note of that. Today, again, I announce to you that reactivation based on the death of a principal signatory is going to be considered for discussion. When an account is thrown into dormant status as a result of the death of a principal signatory, it is a development that is capable of stalling operations of the account. From our discussion so far, you should know that. That is, activities on the account, particularly debit transactions, can be stalled. If you want to continue to pay to the account till the kingdom comes, you are free to do so. But when you pay into the account, won't you need the money? Whereas a principal signatory is down in the grave or at the mortuary. Who a principal signatory is, I've told you, the person who must authorize all your transactions. If you are writing a letter, he must sign to tell the bank that, no, I'm aware of this. Yeah. Then note the following. Since the deceased is no more alive to either authorize or attest to anything, what do we do? The principal signatory is no more alive, and life must go on. The man who used to make things happen is gone, is dead and gone. Should the account be dead with him? No. No. So, reactivations must be done. And in the case of a non-corporate status account, that is a joint account, that is, you can have 2 or 3 persons signing on a joint account. It's a non-corporate status. 1, don't forget the man who is involved is a principal signatory who must authorize all payment and all the moves. Now that he's dead, the presence of all surviving signatory is required. All other signatories who are alive must be around for the purpose of reactivating the account. A written letter with a photocopy of the death certificate. Take note of that. A written letter with a photocopy of the death certificate attached and the original to be presented for citing. You know, photocopy cannot just come from nowhere. You must come to the bank with the photocopy of the death certificate and the original for citing by the banker to show that this man in question is effectively dead. That the man is effectively dead. The banker must cite the original. And also of great importance is a sworn affidavit to back up the claim with registration in judiciary record. What's the essence of the sworn affidavit? That is, in the nearest future, all these documents, the letter of reactivation, the death certificate presented, and the attestation of the banker on the death certificate that original copy cited, and the photocopy of what? Of a kind of registration with the judiciary in form of a sworn affidavit to back up what the surviving signatories want to do. In addition to the above, presence or letter from a chamber of a solicitor, a well-known solicitor, to back up the information on the death of the principal signatory. That is one. I may sound so funny, but it's a necessary step to take. Like church program in case of a Christian, or Fidel's program in case of a Muslim, or the obituary printed, and some other documents obtained for the purpose of burying the corpse of the deceased. All this cannot be forged. You know what it takes to forge all these things? Just to convince the bankers that the man in question is actually a dead person. Now, with all the items listed above, reactivation back to the active status is actually possible. Is actually possible. If somebody is saying no, then it means another thing. It means another thing. What do? It's either you carry on by changing the account mandate. If you are obliged, or when you are obliged for the purpose of reactivation, you can carry on by making sure that the clause referring to anybody as a principal signatory is removed. It can then become all to sign. That can still be problematic. That is 2 out of any 3 to sign. Or if you still want to feel safe and secure, you can say 2 to sign while the third person confirms. That is a kind of relief from the stress that can be caused by the death of a principal signatory. And if it is still your policy to have a principal signatories, you can go ahead and appoint another one. You can appoint another one. With all these documents already submitted, I think the bank should be able to put the account back into the active status. A new principal signatory can then be introduced for full restatement of the account back to its former operational status. And if you want to do this, you have some key documents and key steps to take. One, like we mentioned before now, KYC documents. Very, very important. KYC document is very, very important. It's very, very important. How? Identification of the new person coming in. Letter of introduction. Letter of introduction from the surviving signatory. Now that the man who validates everything with his authority is no more, a popular attorney, like I said the other time, can write to back it up. You can still swear to an affidavit to give it a kind of recognition by the judiciary in their records. We are saying again that the passport photograph and the identification. You see, now in the scheme of things, it's like the industry is recognizing NIN more than any other form of identification. I know NIN does not go into extinction, neither does it go into expiration. Once it is taken, it is taken. And there's a way the bank verifies NIN. They have access to the data record of the authorities monitoring NIN. Is what I know. I have gone to the bank, to banks, not to a bank, to banks without identification. Once I supply them with my BVN in conjunction with my NIN, or either of the two, once the server can open, they will check it, and they will actually know whether you are the one or not. And after verifying, what do? They allow you to go. Whether a transfer. I want to tell you, things are now much easier in the banking industry. So when they check all these things, particularly your NIN, they see you. Don't forget they have generated your BVN before. When all these things are done, reactivation is allowed. We have things made easy compared to those days. So when you are reactivating your account, as the case may be, when a principal signatory is involved and is no more, all this we have said can be done. And when they are done, bankers have no option that will oblige you. Actually, they will do, because they have been protected and over-protected so that they could do what you expect from them. Now, from all we have said and done, with the inclusion of KYC documents of the new signatory or any other person you want to bring in to either become somebody who will be confirming or who will stand in place of the former or the deceased signatory, you are safe and the banker is safe. Take note of what we are saying in case you find yourself in this kind of situation. So we want to thank you for being with us. We are closing for this aspect, but the topic is not yet closed. We still have some other areas we are going to touch in our next episode. So it's on this note we are closing today. Thank you for being with us, and good night.